The truth is that you're always speaking with the universe in its own language. Everything you've experienced in life so far is the result of a non-intentional conversation with the universe. Perhaps some of it was even due to an intentional conversation with the universe, but the key here is to know how to have intentional, conscious conversations with the universe so that you could start creating the results, the experiences you want in life, and not just have any random experiences thrown at you that you might not actually want. And perhaps a good start towards understanding how this works is by exploring the nature of prayer. If you inspect all religions, you'll find a recurring theme of always keep praying, always keep asking for the things you want, and never once lose hope. Never give up on God, and eventually you will manifest those things that you've been asking for. Eventually you're gonna have the things you want. But the thing here is that even religiously, God is always giving. And that tells you that it's not really about God or when God feels ready, but it's more about you. Because it's not that you're gonna keep praying and asking for the things you want, and at some point God is gonna feel giving and it's gonna give it to you. But it's actually about when you are ready, when you keep praying and asking for the things you want, eventually you're gonna believe in it so real, so deeply, that you are gonna become the manifestation of those things. Eventually, the more you ask, the more you pray for this thing to happen, and you, by knowing the nature of God, by knowing about the nature of God, you are gonna start feeling, believing, and thinking that I'm almost there, that I've been praying for so long, and so it surely is gonna happen at some point now. It surely will happen soon enough, because I've been asking and I've been praying and I've been doing all of the things that my religion is telling me to do. And so eventually you're gonna raise that deservedness, that earningness, that feeling of self-worthiness, and you're gonna align vibrationally, energetically with what you've been asking for, and that's when it happens. That's when God gives it to you. And so that tells you that it's not really about God as much as it's about you, and when you actually align with that thing. And so how do you make a conversation, an intentional conversation with the universe? How do you speak with the universe in its own language? Nikola Tesla said that to understand the universe, you have to think in terms of vibrations, frequencies, and energy. Vibration, frequency, and energy. And a common example of a conversation, probably a non-intentional conversation with the universe, is that one, the recurring example that most people have, that most people keep repeating, that conversation that most people keep repeating with the universe, is the one when the universe gives you a bad experience. When you have been assuming the worst out of the universe, when you have been feeling bad about everything in your life, when you've been negative and having a negative attitude about your life and everything that's been going in it, and you're frustrated, you feel you're in need of things, you're in need of love, you're in need of a relationship, you're in need of success, you're in need of money, you're in need of this, always remember that God is always saying yes. If you're always in need of something, if you're always frustrated, if you always think, feel, and act as if you need money, as if you need love, as if you need to make it, as if you still did not make it, then God will always be saying yes to this. This is a very important key point with the law of assumption. When God is saying yes to all of this, then your external experiences will always be reflecting those neediness, this frustration back at you. You're always gonna get experiences that prove to you that you still need money, that you still need love, that you still need success. When it eventually becomes a fulfillment, then that's when the conversation starts changing. That's when the results, that's when the reflection, when the manifestations, when your creation starts changing. But the common example is that when you've been living that way for a while and the universe is replying back at you because the universe reacts to how we are and not the other way around. You don't wait for the universe to give you a good experience to start awakening joy, gratitude, good vibes and good feelings and grace and love, but you have to be those things, because you tune into your true self-worth, into your true self, and you know that you start getting to the bottom of yourself, to your own truth, which is that you are all of those things regardless of your external experiences. And then your external experiences start proving this to you, that you are in fact those things once you reach to that feeling. But how the conversation goes is that you stay feeling bad and negative and in need of all of those things for a while, and the universe gives you an experience that proves that back at you, that reflects that back at you, and then it waits for how you reply to that new experience, how you reply to that phase. And if you still continue replying the same way you've always been replying, by a negative attitude, by more frustration, by hating life, by being resentful towards life and everyone around you, by isolating yourself because you feel, and you start identifying with the bad things in your life, identifying with the negative things in your life, identifying with your need for a specific outcome, for your lack of, with your identifying with your lack of a specific outcome of a specific thing, and you keep needing and needing and needing, it replies back. It knows that you are still the same person. It knows that you still have the same vibrations, you still have the same energy, and it knows that this is the frequency of your energy, and it gives you more and more of those experiences that leaves you unfulfilled. But when does that all change? How do you change all of that? Is by considering that as a relationship. Consider your conversation with the universe a relationship. If you have a partner or a dear person, any dear close person to you, to your heart, and you go to that person with a problem and they have a negative attitude towards you, consider yourself life in this example. Consider yourself the universe in this example. Or the other way around, but let's say you go to a person, in a relationship, you have a dear relationship with that person with a problem, and you go to them with that problem, and they are always marginalizing your problems, they are always gaslighting you, they're always giving you a negative attitude, replying negatively. They're always telling you, why are you always like this? Why are you always coming to me with problems? Why are you always negative? Why are you always this and that? I don't care about those problems. How would you react to that if you are life? Next time you're gonna want to give them your worst. The next time you interact with that person, you're gonna give them your worst attitude, your worst experiences. You're always gonna try and give that person the worst of you, the worst version of you, and you're always gonna be mad towards them. But even imagine you as the person and that partner, that dear person to you as life, and you're always going to them with problems, you're always giving them attitude, you're always wanting something from them, you're always in need of something, you're always blaming them for how your life is, for this problem, for that problem, for your suffering, and you're always throwing that at them, you're giving them that negative attitude. How do you think they're gonna react? They're gonna exactly react by what you're assuming out of them. If you're assuming that they are the only thing, that they are the reason that's keeping you from fulfillment, from happiness, from joy, from having the things you want, then they're gonna be just that. They're gonna keep proving you right over and over again. Someone has to start with the change. So whether you're life or whether you are the person here, either ways, something has to change in the formula. Something has to change within the equation in order for it to produce a different result. And for this specific conversation, you have to start with the change. Now assume that you are the person, and now you're assuming everything positive from your partner. You're going to them with your good experiences. You're grateful for having them. You're showing them that gratitude. Now, I don't want this to be misunderstood for a conditional love or a conditional relationship. I'm just using this example to represent how life works, because that's a common pattern. This is a universal pattern, and this is what happens with life. Consider life as a person, and you are assuming the worst out of it. But what happens when you assume the best out of it? What happens when you go to it with love, with gratitude for being life, for just being itself? That's when you tune into your true worth, when you tune into your true self, and you also tune into the true life. When you see life for its truth, when you understand the true nature of life, which is beautiful regardless of everything else, which is amazing. Take a walk in nature and see all your problems dissolve for a few minutes. Go into the forest, go deep into the forest. Go visit some of the beauty of nature, of some of the amazing landmarks that was created naturally by Earth, and see yourself, feel yourself getting all of that elevation, feeling elevated just by seeing Earth for what it is, by seeing life for what it is, regardless of whatever problems you might have going outside. And that's what happens when you assume the best out of life. That's when you change the conversation. That's the factor you change in the equation, in the formula, and that's what creates different results. Now, when you go to that person with that new attitude, with your gratitude, with your love, and you're always appreciating them, you're always loving them, regardless of whatever mishaps, whatever problems they might have, or you might have, then they are gonna reflect that back at you. And even if you're at life at this example, if you are the one representing life, if one time they start reacting positively to your problems, if they start giving you a positive attitude, they take into consideration everything that you say, they try to help you with your problems, they show you the love, they give you the attention, they react exactly as positive as you want them to, you would start going to them with your best experiences. You would start giving them your best version and your life here, because they reacted positively. And that's what you need to do. When life gives you a bad experience because you have been vibrating on this frequency for a while, then you react positively. Don't get frustrated. Don't react negatively to each and every one around you. Don't get mad at random people because your life, because you're resonating with the fact that your life is negative. Don't shout out, don't bash out on random people in the street. Be a manifestation of how you want your life to be. Imagine how your life would be if you had absolutely everything you ever wanted in life, and react as that person. And that's how you change the equation. You turn it all the way around and you get the experiences you want. You attract the experiences you want. You create, you tune into those experiences by being them, by aligning with your vibrations, by aligning with your frequency. So react positively, assume the best out of life, stop attaching so deeply to the outcome of each and every experience. Know your true self, tune into your true self, your true worth, and understand that you have all of those positive feelings from within you, that you have all of this fulfillment from within you, that you could be content and fulfilled just by being you, by being yourself, by tuning into your true self. And assume that everything in your life is working out in your favor, is the best that could go, the best version it could go, and it will be just that, by applying the law of assumption towards the direction you actually want it to go. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video by AfsConsciousFrequency. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it helps me so much and it helps this video find its way to many more others who might actually need it.